If you've been scrolling through endless drone options, watching video after video of people bragging about the best freestyle rig and still feel like you'll end up with something that either crashes too hard or can't keep up with your tricks, this review is here to clear that up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a few evenings actually getting the Manta 3.6-inch drone out of the box, setting it up in a small backyard and a cramped hallway, and I'm going to walk you through what really matters when you decide whether this little flyer belongs in your pocket or not. First off, the biggest draw of a 3.6-inch frame is the sheer portability. The whole thing folds down to the size of a paperback, so you can slip it into a bike bag or a backpack without drawing any attention. That convenience translates directly into more flying time, because you're not lugging a bulky carrier around to get to the next spot. For anyone who lives in a city apartment, or who likes to hop from park to park on weekends, the compact shape is the practical reason you'll actually get it out and use it. On the flip side, that same small size caps how much battery you can tuck inside, so you'll notice a shorter flight window compared to the 5-inch freestyle rigs you see on YouTube. If you expect 30+ minutes of continuous airtime, you'll be disappointed. Expect closer to 10 minutes of decent power, then a quick land and swap. The versatile tag on the Manta isn't just marketing speak. Out of the box it ships with a modular mounting system that lets you click on a tiny RunCam or an ELRS receiver in seconds. I tried both. The RunCam gives a surprisingly clear analog HD feed even when I pushed the drone into fast flips, while the ELRS module let me race a friend's similar size craft with sub 100 millisecond latency. The real test came when I tried indoor freestyle, tight corridor rolls, and low-altitude loops. Because the GPS is still active in a compact package, the drone held its position when I hovered in a doorway, something many hobby-grade micro-drones stumble over. That precision is a huge confidence booster for beginners who are still learning to respect a drone's deadman switch. However, the GPS lock can take a bit longer in dense urban canyons, and if you're trying to do a rapid takeoff in an area with poor satellite view, the drone may hesitate a second longer than you'd like. Now let's talk about the advanced side. The firmware on this Manta is tuned for freestyle, meaning you get a higher angular rate and softer stick curves that let you roll into a barrel roll with a light flick. In my testing, the drone responded instantly to stick input, and the motor thrust felt smooth enough that I could do a series of rapid rolls without the craft feeling jittery. That precision is useful when you're trying to nail a TikTok trick. You'll see the drone stay level while you spin, instead of wobbling and ruining the shot. The downside? Because the controller integration leans heavily on the ELRS protocol, you need a compatible transmitter to unlock the full range. If you're still on a traditional 2.4 GHz controller, you'll be stuck with a more limited response envelope and you won't be able to take advantage of the low latency that makes the freestyle experience feel instant. Who should buy the Manta? If you're a beginner who wants a drone that won't break a window on a first crash, yet you also want the ability to progress to genuine freestyle moves without swapping to a bigger frame, this is a solid middle ground. It's also a good fit for content creators who need a lightweight camera platform that can slip into tight locations. Think shooting a quick POV shot from a narrow stairwell or a small rooftop garden. The price point sits in the affordable yet capable range, so you're not throwing away a six-figure budget on a hobby that you may outgrow in a few months. Conversely, if you're a seasoned pilot who already owns a 5-inch or larger freestyle drone and you're looking for maximum flight time, payload capacity for larger sensors, or the ability to carry a full-size GoPro, you'll likely skip this one. The Manta's battery limits and modest lift mean you can't attach much more than a tiny analog camera without sacrificing maneuverability. Practical strengths become clearer once you test it in the real world. The drone's precise hovering, even in a modest breeze, makes it easier to line up a shot without constantly correcting. I tried filming a friend riding a skateboard across a park bench. The Manta kept a steady lock on the subject while I followed at a low altitude, and the analog HD feed let me see the framing without noticeable lag. The user-friendly claim also holds up. The binding process took about 5 minutes. Just power on the drone, connect to the app, and calibrate the compass. The app's guided.